Hi everybody, a very good afternoon, good morning. I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of Amdecon Design. It's 1:55 Indian Standard Time by the watch. I'm the founder and CEO of Amdecon Design. We're in the business of designing and manufacturing home and office decor and interior solutions and stuff. And we design, we manufacture, and we supply, and we also offer. Specialized services and consultancy for interior design, furniture, and aesthetics and stuff, wherein we have our own collection of interior solutions and decor accessories and stuff. So these are lamps, mirrors, these are tables, these are bunker beds, these are business, racks, center tables, then there are art installations and stuff like that. And the second category is as you would see in the high-end stores and international markets, we have interesting stuff. So something like this. This is a candle holder. It looks like an ashtray, but it's actually a candle holder. Then there's stuff like this. I think I've been sharing this because this is on my table and stuff. So a lot of other interesting semi-precious stone items like tables in these. There are picture frames. There are coasters I've already shown you. There's cutlery. There are trays. There's also furniture which is exclusive because those are highly technical and stuff. And during festival season or for regular season, if you're wanting to give somebody, you can have your name, you can have images of gods, goddesses, your children, you can have angels, butterflies, or whatever, which we've been doing for some showrooms and stuff like that. And I think some people have also copied those because I see them everywhere now. So there are other interesting items as well. There's a whole series of bags which are totally from the international market, France and Germany, because I have certain international friends who send me feedback from there, and I didn't realize that some of my creations are at par with IKEA. Without even looking at those, I had no clue. So, we are basically at par with the international market as well. Quality and service is something which we can vouch for because I'm personally and professionally involved in the entire steps of design and supervision till the time of implementation and stuff. And then we also have these corporate gifting items where we have men prefer those, boys prefer those, or people who are in love with sports or maybe golf, or maybe they like to be on the ship and stuff like that. So we have tables in those, we have sand timers in those, we have chest boxes. There are these magazine holders and lots of other interesting items which we are kind of wanting to launch professionally. Slow and steady wins the race has been the case because my health has not been that great, and off and on I keep having these cervical concerns like this noise in my ear since morning. So anyways, so now the point is this, that the read is on a Monday morning about joy, bringing joy to a meeting. So when you walk into a meeting, you're actually entering a shared space for either collaboration, conversation, decision making, or exchanging ideas. If you're going online, you're also looking to connect and network with people and stuff. So you sometimes have pleasant experiences, you meet great people, and sometimes you don't meet such interesting people. And when you're offline and you're looking at long-term relationships, or you're looking at short-term relationships, what's really important is to kind of narrow down that interest and understand that what is the shorter picture and where is the larger picture. So if you have a narrow vision, you kind of keep it to very basic, which a lot of youngsters and you do. They kind of use social media, although they use these meetings to kind of exchange contacts, and they kind of think that making contacts is the best thing that can happen to them. But it's not about making contacts. It's actually a larger thing, and it's not about networking as well. I'll tell you why. It's also about bringing creativity and joy to a meeting, because when interests when there's a convergence of interests and stuff, then people have different energies, and people have different mind shares, people have different knowledge and stuff, and the meetings can go from negative to positive and stuff. And I've seen it so many times because I've been in the media. I've seen this in PR and corporate communication many a times. You have tempers flaring, and I thought there was something drastically wrong with me till I went to this new office that I was in, and I saw this media girl pick up a vase and throw it on the other guy in the office and stuff, and you see all of that and you realize that temper is something which people are consistently looking at controlling and stuff, and many personalities have these kind of uncontrollable lashing out of emotions and stuff. Why go far? We can see it on TV, we can see it on social media, we can see it in various business rooms, we can see it in parliaments and stuff, and all of that is so unhealthy, because even a healthier person will start feeling unhealthy and I mean, you don't feel like participating in those kind of meetings and forums and stuff. But then such is life, you have to, I mean, there's no option there, because if you're trying to kind of have a constructive meeting and you want to kind of make take a conclusion to that, you have to participate in those, but you can definitely be selective about those. So the author is talking about bringing joy to a meeting, and she's saying, okay, first of all, show up. So show up, okay? And when you're showing up, I can give you some tips on this, that when you're showing up, your body posture and your body language matters a lot. So when you're in a meeting, sit straight, talk confidently, avoid looking into the phone. I see this happening so many times in various forums or in meetings or whatever. You see it on TV as well, and you can see it in design meetings or forums, that when you're having a event happening, even the speakers on the dais sometimes are kind of engaged in their phones and stuff, and me or people like me in the audience are going to be wondering what's going on here. Also the other thing is, come prepared. I see some people forget when they are talking, they kind of lose track of thoughts and stuff. It used to happen to me online when I was spontaneous and stuff. But the point is this, that when you know the agenda of the meeting and the purpose of the meeting, it's very important to kind of prepare. Write down those pointers on a paper before you carry a book, so that you can kind of refer to those and stuff. There are so many times, and I've been in various forums, I still go, and there are forums where I carry my books with me and I write down, during the course of the meeting. Even if I'm speaking at the end, I kind of look at what other people are doing. It takes a lot of patience to listen to different people and stuff, and then you kind of, at the end of it, kind of form a gist, or in the beginning kind of present your pointers and stuff, so you don't forget, you're not kind of missing out on the important points, because there are all kinds of people there, and the energy of the room is kind of either affecting you positively or negatively and stuff. And sometimes what happens is, because you watch certain people on TV and online, you may have this subconscious fear, or you may be holding a certain impression that, if you're going to a meeting or if you're going into a room or something, you may not be accepted, or you may not that be great. But till the time you don't participate, you won't really know what's going to happen, and you only going to learn if you participate, right? I mean, nobody was born perfect. We also learn on the job. You're still learning on the job. There's so many topics which I don't know of, but I follow international books, and I read, and I see personalities, and I stuff, and I still learn. So participation means learning. And then she's talking about putting away electronics. I've already shared that, this is a real piss off. You have an important meeting, and you're undervaluing, or you're not kind of giving respect to people or seniors before you, others before you. This happens even in personal conversations. You want to have a chat at home. How many people face this? You want to have a chat at home. You want to have a topic of discussion on something, and parents or children or people are on their phone and stuff, because they're kind of avoiding a conversation. So a matured conversation happens when you're kind of talking face to face, or you have a balanced share of thoughts happening. It's not like one side keeps talking and the other one is like, okay, now it's my turn and I'm going to give it back and stuff. So that's not a very healthy or a balanced way of talking and stuff. Listening is important. As much as you speak, you got to listen. And listening helps, because it gives you new perspectives, new insights. You may kind of be blocked, or you may have read so much, or you may have been doing work where you're creatively blocked. So when you're listening, it kind of gives you this new energy to absorb. You can actually mend and amend the way you think and look at certain situations and people and stuff. Speak up, most important. What are you there for? You're in a meeting to speak and share and stuff. I mean, if you're going to be sitting there and trying to play a devil's advocate by just being quiet and stuff, it's not going to help. So you have to be speaking. If you're representing yourself, if you're representing a team, if you're representing a concept, if you're representing an idea, you have to speak up. You have to be assertive. And you have to give people an equal chance to even talk. That's a neutral meeting. It cannot be one way. I mean, you're just constantly throwing stuff on people and stuff, and that's the most boring conversation that you can have. And include some humor. Do no harm. try and be a responsible adult, I mean, this is a word which I emphasize on. Try and be a responsible person, because blaming others, cutting people off, kind of self-promoting yourself by belittling people or by calling them bad names are real bad practices in ethics, and I mean, people may enjoy it. I mean, I see it in so many parliament or discussions and debates internationally and in India. I see this in sports meetings. I see this in art forums and stuff. There's so much of shit thrown on people, and people think it's their goddamn right to do that. But then that's a real unhealthy sign. And, I mean, stay away from it if you can. Try and support others, try and encourage others, kind of not reject what people are saying, and try and improvise, which is the only way to kind of, have that. Gutso or have that power on kind of taking the discussion or the debate forward, and yeah, so this is what she says. She says you have to abolish the idea of rejecting others, because we are preconceived that the person is going to come and this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to say, either on TV or on whatever. It's all of that is scripted and fast, I mean, it's full of shit many a time. Sorry for my language, but I see so many leaders and I see the so-called Bollywood personalities of Hollywood and Bollywood trying to speak on our behalf, but their conducts are so pathetic and lousy. It's like, they've got filth in their head and stuff, so avoid voting for such people, because if they're doing this on TV, you can imagine what they are behind the scene and stuff. So basically, it's also about kind of enjoying what you're sharing, enjoying what you're listening to, participate in stuff which kind of uplifts you, makes you feel good. You feel great there, and sometimes you may be in new environments and new spaces where you don't know people. But the point is that if you have not spent time with people, you will not even know those people, and try and avoid self-interest. You're in a collective mind share. You're here basically about improving things, to give solutions, to give some constructive ideas, to kind of ideate, to kind of have creativity at its best and stuff. So suffocating people and kind of throwing crap at people is a real bad bet, and you have to stop doing that and stuff. Your goal is not to kind of win the discussion or the debate, but the goal of a discussion or a meeting usually is to find solutions and kind of have a great experience for everybody in the name of winning and victory and stuff. So hope this helps, and I think my next post will be later on how do you enjoy the process of creating a joyful work life at day and in personal relationships and stuff. So joy is really very important. I mean, I switched on my Facebook and I see some faces, and it happens to a lot of my friends also. There's so many intimidating men and women out there. There are cyber bullies and stuff. There are people who just don't believe in having a normal conversation. They kind of message you. They kind of stalk you, obsess over you. They post when you're around and stuff. You can't do anything because you're not in touch with them. So there are certain men and women who get really disturbed with the whole idea. I'm not talking about me. I'm saying in general, and then the whole overall feeling and reaction is you want to kind of punch the person in the face and stuff, and I've seen this happening with balanced guys who are my friends in the corporate world and stuff, and certain clients or certain people from old school of thoughts in older ages or different industries do this to people over SMSs because I think it's their birthright and stuff. So anyways, so friends like those or business associates like those, they know how to kind of disconnect from the situation and be in their own space. So you can do that too, like I've been emphasizing on this. Just block those people and move on, and do not give them access to your emotions and moods and stuff, because after all, you're in control of those. Meditate, listen to some good music, read some good books, be in constructive discussions. You don't have to be kind of constantly following people and trying to dominate a discussion or a debate, because the idea, like I said, is to kind of work as a cohesive function and have flexibility and acceptance of what people bring on the table and stuff. So I'm Jasleen Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of Amdecon Design. This is what we do even in our meetings and work forums. We give our juniors also a chance to talk. We give our laborers also to give a chance to talk. We also promote our artists to talk. If there's a designer or if there's a team head working with me, we give them a chance to talk. And when we go for an exhibition or when we go for a mind share, we also kind of do a thought share and stuff. So without really evaluating how people talk and how people are, the main idea is to focus on what is the purpose of the discussion here. I mean, you're there to kind of ideate and understand. And if it's a product or discussion or a brief happening, you have to focus on the product. And if you're not comfortable talking to certain people, believe me, you're not going to be comfortable talking to them forever in future. Because if I speak to some people from other cities and I'm not comfortable talking to a vendor I'm not going to be comfortable having a discussion with him in my life. So what I do is I find someone to kind of have a chat on my behalf, you know. So if you're in a meeting and you're not comfortable around people and stuff, and you know that you have to be prepared, you can take a team along with you. You can do the kind of talk, share, and communication management on your behalf. So I'm Jashin Kapani. I'm the founder and CEO of Amdicon Design. You can write to me on jashinkapani.im@gmail.com and jkapani@gmail.com. So have fun, have a blast, focus on joy at work and stuff, and stop focusing on people who are kind of giving you those negative emotions and vibrations and stuff, because people are sensitive, and garbage and shit should be kept away, and you can choose your own circle of people no matter what level or what standard they are in, because there's no shame in having friends or having friends or being in touch with people who kind of bring joy and make you feel comfortable around them, you know. Forcing yourself to be in a relationship online and offline, or being a part of a circle which doesn't make you feel good, is the biggest way to kind of be in this negative state of let me use the word frustration or disappointment and stuff, you know. You don't have to do that, you know. Choose people carefully who make you feel good, even if they're older, even if they're younger, if they are children or whatever. You feel comfortable around them, continue doing that, because your emotional health and your mental health matters also when you're a part of certain briefings and meetings and stuff like that, because creativity gets affected by all of that, and so is the work environment. So love and luck, take care, have fun, bye bye.